CP24, Toronto's breaking news.
Welcome back. We are finding out the cost for the McGuinty government to cancel 2 power plants in the GTA has risen to $230 million. This comes just as the energy minister announced a deal today to move the canceled gas-fired generating station in Oakville to a town near Kingston. Chris Bentley says the cost to taxpayers will be $40 million. That's on top of the $190 million price tag for the decision to cancel the gas plant in Mississauga. And for more now, we're joined by CP24 Stephen LeDrew.
Lucia, thank you very, very much. We learned today it's another $40 million, so it's an expensive election promise. So we asked Jim Wilson, who's the Conservative House Leader, to come in and join us and chat about this. So it was $190 million, the Liberals admitted. Today there's another 40, so it's $230 million. I understand you've also got a lot of documents today.
Yeah.
How much is this going up? Do you have any more figures?
Well, we have a paper that was released today, one of the 336,000 pieces of paper they released today as a result of our contempt motion before the legislature.
Right.
And it shows the Ontario Power Authority warning the government last year that if they pick a site other than Oakville, it could be several $100 million more. And we have a document that shows it's about $200 million more on top of the 230 to run wires from Eastern Ontario. Because remember, the original problem was the same problem we had 15 years ago when I was energy minister.
It's electricity for Toronto, isn't it?
It's electricity for the west, southwest.
Or GTA, yes.
GTA. And so now you got to get the power back there somehow, and it'll have to come from Eastern Ontario.
So I was up to $230 million.
Yeah.
You're adding another $200 million on top of it for transmission lines?
Up to $200 million, and, you know, we've had 3 hours, we've had 36,000 pieces of paper in front of us, so we'll be digging all night, and
I'll get you some Visine. Now, let's talk, so it's up to at least $400 million in rough terms.
We think
That's
so.
An expensive promise.
Yeah.
Tell us about this contempt
And it's a
motion.
seat saver project, right? I mean, we're going to get 2 power plants that are completely white elephants. We don't need them. Where the Eastern Ontario one is going in Lennox, there's already a power plant, gas power plant, that runs about 10% of the time at 10% capacity.
Right.
So we don't need them, but they wanted to get them out of the GTA. It's the most expensive seat saver program in the history of Ontario, and it's the first time.
When you say seat saver, you're talking about the election promise to get it out of Oakville, Mississauga, so they can keep the Liberal seats.
In 2010, and then in the 2011 election, October, they canceled Mississauga.
Now, Jim, tell me about the contempt motion, because you've got the documents.
Yeah. Not the documents.
Are you still pursuing the contempt against the minister?
Well, the government had 2 years. They tried every dirty trick in the book to have a cover-up and to not produce these documents. And so we don't think bad behavior should be rewarded. And we're going to pursue the contempt motion, which will be the first time in the history of the legislature. And that ranges, the minister could go to jail, although I doubt it will go that far. But he'll likely be called to the bar and scolded by the Speaker for not producing the documents properly in the first place. It's the Legislative Assembly Act that he's in violation of. The Speaker made that very clear in his ruling to date. And we think we need to hold the McGuinty government or any government accountable for how they spend taxpayers' money, and they shouldn't be allowed to do these cover-ups.
So what's next as far as a big bill for the hydro decision?
Well, it could be $400 million upwards.
And so are you going to make a political fuss about it, or are you going to...
Well, I've said, and I think you've said it too, and I know Tim Hudak, the leader of the PC party, has said that the Liberal Party should be paying for this. This was strictly a political decision. And the strange thing about the 36,000 documents we got today, we can't find any emails from Liberal Party headquarters, even though the minister told us last week they made the decision during the election campaign to buy the election. Can't find any emails between them and the politicians that actually would have finalized the decision and announced it. We can't find any emails coming in out of the Premier's office. So we think we're actually in a better case of contempt today, because I don't think we got all the documents. I think there's thousands more.
So there's more to come. Jim Wilson, House Leader for the Tories, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks,
and
Stephen.
Lots more to come out of that one. So Pooja, all my advice is, I guess if you're a member of the Provincial Liberal Party, you're going to have some fundraisers going on. That's a lot of money to raise.
There you go. We'll be watching this story, following it very closely. Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Pooja.